Here we go, boys.
Pace car is heading down the pit lane. You can't beat race day here at Daytona. Front row, Austin Cindric takes the outside lane to his left. Justin Allgaier, 2021 is underway in the Xfinity Series.
Cindric obviously taking that outside line, so he's got that forward horsepower behind him. Didn't necessarily work the best right there, Tony. They got pushed out there quite a bit.
And that's the hard part. It's so easy to get away if you're that front row and you get that good push off the line. It's actually a disadvantage because you get out away from everything, then you have that big gap that slows you down. But now you see the 98 car that's caught up to him. Now they're going to get that push and get that run going.
Tell you who didn't get the push in the run. Noah Gragson right there. Caught in the middle, 3 wide. He's headed to the rear.
Surprising. He's really good at this style of racing. Won the season opener a year ago to Gregson and nearly raced his way in to the Daytona 500 on Thursday night. First couple of laps led by Austin Cindric from the pole. Inside lane making up some ground now. Chevy's working together. Justin Haley pushing the other Justin. That's Allgaier leading lap number 3.
We're not really seeing a line that's dominant yet. Normally, a couple laps into it, they start sorting out, and there's normally one line or the other, either the inside or outside, that does show dominance, and you'll see everybody start gravitating that way. But this has been pretty even. It's kind of accordion back and forth as far as whether it's the 7 car, the 22 car, just whoever gets that push. But nobody's really going anywhere yet. It's not like there's a pattern yet.
On the Cup side in those dual races, Tony, Thursday, it seemed like it took somewhere around that lap 10 mark for cars to start. Oh, you got smoke right there.
And that's Alex Labbe in the 36. He's a Canadian known for his road racing ability, driving for Mario Gosselin, and that will bring out our first caution. It happens at lap 5.
Did a great job keeping that thing pointed the right direction and out of the wall.
It was an excellent save for sure. I mean, there were a lot of things that could have went wrong right there.
Was running 17th when he got out of shape.
Man,
all by himself.
It just shows you the difference in what that air does to those cars, in particular off the corner. Sometimes you'll have a lot of wheel in it. Sometimes you just never know. Got loose and spun around.
Let's listen in on the restart.
Three-quarter behind you, 1 behind you, the 10 and a 1 to the 8. Top lane is more bumper to bumper than you guys. Still out there, still half behind. Still half behind. Something ahead of the 7. The 22 stays top lane, still half behind. Tight with you. 10's tight with you, then the 8, then the 2. Still nothing ahead of the 7. Half behind. Just 2 wide at your quarter out there.
Listening to spotter Kevin Hamlin walking Justin Haley through this restart.
And what a great spotter Kevin is. And that's exactly what you want to hear. I mean, you're basically 2 wide right there, but it's just so much communication. Talking about that push behind, talking about what's happened underneath on the outside. You know, just talk. That's what I always used to tell Brett. I'll listen. You know, I'll hear you. I just might not listen to you. That's the biggest thing I want to hear.
Since when do you listen?
No. I said I'll hear you up there. I just may not listen every time.
You said talk.
I had to change I know what I said. I had to change it.
That's what Gordon and Mike Joy told me about you in the booth this week.
But the other thing to keep in mind, it's not only the words that the spotters are saying. Did you hear his demeanor and how calm he is in the message that he's delivering? If the spotter's calm, it helps keep the driver calm.
Wait a minute. But if he gets wound up, pull the belts down tight. You're going to need him. If his voice gets high pitched, you're fixing to hit hard. As a guy that's running your race team, you know, he exudes all the way through the team, from the driver to the crew chief, everybody. Just relaxes everybody in such a tense situation like Daytona is.
And I think we've got a situation that'll be worth watching here. You watch Noah Gragson and Ty Dillon lined up together. These are 2 veterans that know what they're doing in this scenario. When you get 2 veterans like that, these guys can, if Noah goes somewhere, I think Ty's going to go with him and vice versa. I think these guys have the confidence in each other, and they've both been on the racetrack this week, so these guys already feel comfortable, settled in. They can make something happen here shortly.
And we've got a second caution. And I hear it's for Josh Williams in the 92. And there he is sitting idle. He had trouble yesterday. Didn't get any practice. Flat left rear. He's the teammate to Alex Labbe. What's going on with all these vehicles for Mario Gosselin? Early troubles for both these guys.
Yeah, fender rub, something. I mean, you just never know. Look at that.
1/3 of the way home in our opening stage. Austin Cindric, Allgaier, Herbst, Haley, Jones, your top 5 from Daytona.
Both lines are locked up good here.
Be interesting to see how these first 2 rows now they've swapped sides. It's the first time they've been on opposite sides of each other, so it'll be interesting to see how the lines develop and if we see a line that picks up more than the other.
What kind of an adjustment is that when you're used to restarting outside, 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 and then you flip-flop and you go to the inside or vice versa? Does it have a different feel for you?
As long as you've got, you know, your teammate, your ally, that's so important. Knowing you've got a guy behind you that's just not going to spit you out, because honestly, he could at will when he wants to.
And when you ask if there's a difference, there really is, because when you're on the bottom, you're pinned down to the bottom. You have, and you look at the corners and how symmetrical they are. It's tight on the exit. You have to hold that car on the exit of the corner. So the guys on the outside tend to have a lot more room to work with, but now you see,
said work with. They just
so much for working with each other.
Now they're racing. Oh, they might still be working with one another.
There's your guy, Tony. 98 out front. Riley Herbst not afraid to make a move on Cindric.
And I like how he did that too. He got to the lead and then got back up with Cindric.
It worked out that way.
Yes. Yeah, I guarantee that wasn't the plan, but that was the end result, which was good.
The plan was, I'm going to the front. I'm going to take advantage of this run right here. Move back down. Going to the front, baby.
Yeah, but especially when you're trying to get to the end of the stage here and trying to get stage points, it's important. You want to keep those relationships during the race, but at the same time, you can't just give that up. I mean, you could literally in 2 laps go from leading the race to being 10th place and going from 10 points to 1 point on the stage points.
That was close.
Riley was their teammate last year, so maybe he just felt comfortable sliding up in front of that group of drivers in that situation. He's in the outside lane now, getting pushed by those Toyotas. But Brandon Jones leading the inside lane and trying to block up top. This is good as we come back to the green-white checkered flag to end stage 1.
Ty Dillon right there. I tell you, Noah Gragson came up through the field there as well. The junior motorsports cars. I don't think anybody's going to make a move. It's going to be a duel right here.
At the line to win stage 1. Inside, it looked like Brandon Jones, and it was. 19 wins the opening stage. What a finish. Look who's leading this race, Ryan Sieg. This team switched from Chevy to Ford in the offseason. Family operation out of Tucker, Georgia. Top 7 cars stayed out. Here we go in stage 2.
Big gap in that second line there, second and third. And look at the inside line, how tight those first 5 or 6 cars are.
Definitely accordion on the inside.
And look at the first 2 cars in the bottom line there. They got hooked up. You see, they drove probably 30 feet distance-wise ahead of that inside line that were separated.
Second car inside lane, that's the 23 of Jay White. And first and second in that inside row, they're teammates. And speaking of the 23, watch this shot on the restart.
Half line. Two, leaving a little, there's not enough room for this end. Now they're stacked up. Still out there. Still out there.
Yeah, as soon as he hit him, you saw the smoke coming out of the left rear. I'd say the quarter panel got into the tire a little bit there.
Outside lane, that bright yellow 68. Brandon Brown, another family operation. Final lap, stage 2.
pretty much every man for himself right here. I'm still at this point going into stage 2. I'm surprised that teammates haven't found one another. Manufacturers haven't found one another. We talk about that and the importance of that when we get down to Daytona and Talladega, tracks like this. They still haven't been able to work together as one.
But that's what we talked about at the beginning too, about having young drivers. You can talk about that game plan, and then as soon as you put that helmet on, somehow it squeezes the blood flow.
Spinner.
Jones.
Brandon Jones, who won the opening stage, crashes at the end of stage 2 and more contact. Wow, that was scary. Cody Ware in the 17 got him.
And they had a lot of rain today at Daytona. The infield is absolutely, I mean, there's standing puddles in the infield, so we knew if somebody got down there, it was going to be big trouble.
Definitely worst case scenario. You saw it fold the front end under, and he was along for the ride.
Moffitt did win the stage. Cindric, Dillon, Haley Brown, the top 5. Moffitt feeling good, and Brandon Jones off to such a great start in today's race. And unfortunately, he's going to have his day ended early. See, he's okay with that window net down.
He's kind of down there minding his own business. Got put 3 wide. Yep. Moved up to pull a side draft off those guys. That guy got to his inside, moved down to make the block, and it was too late. That's the way I saw it. How about you, Tone?
And that happens so often.
Yep.
It's so easy for that to happen. You get your eyes looking to the right. Next thing you know, the left side's closing in on you, and that's the result.
5th caution of the day. It was coming out anyway with the stage in, but Brandon Jones went for a big slide through the infield grass, and he is done.
Still bumping. 22 still hanging barely. Still there barely. Come back full now. Full. On you tight here. Helps 1 back. Still 1.5. He's dropping back more. 22 still on you tight. 1 back to the 9. Top lane's full here. Top lane's still full. Top lane's still full. Helps half back now. Half back. Top lane's still full. On you tight here. On you tight. Half back. 1 back 9. 1 back 9. Good to 22 here. Helps 1 back still. Helps still 1 back. Half back. 18.5. Outline still tight here. Outline.
Under caution for the 6th time today, and we might just be able to call this the big one. If not, it's the mini big one. And it all started when drivers started making green flag pit stops.
Yeah, all of a sudden we heard a lot of chatter on the radios about trying to make a way to the pits. Austin Cindric from the lead makes a move to the pits, and then everything accordions in the back. Everybody's trying to jockey for position, get down to the bottom to where they can pit.
And this 9 times out of 10 is miscommunication.
You can see it right here with the 9 start to get loose right here. Oh, then Michael Annette.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, this is miscommunication where the spotters mid-pack and back of the pack have no idea that those lead lap cars are getting ready to pit and miss that, so they don't give that information to the drivers. And they just think a second line's developing on the bottom, and next thing you know, as soon as they come off of 4, they start checking up.
Well, some of them aren't getting that information. I mean, that is, inside information you're getting from a team, from an organization, obviously from a manufacturer like that, but you can see everybody getting on the binders to try to figure out what they're doing.
That's Cindric leading them. Looked like Josh Berry was going to come down. Justin Allgaier.
All accordion, clear from the front.
And watch the 9 car in the center of the screen there. Bam, gets hit in the back. He's got the wreck made. He's done a good job of staying out of trouble, and then gets hit from a car from behind.
Heads up move from Austin Cindric and his team too, because you could see pit road closed, the light went on, and he immediately darted up from the lead. Obviously gave up the lead right there.
Still tight with you.
It's Kevin Hamlin again.
You are just clear. They're 2 wide with you.
Working with Justin Haley.
You're clear by 4 to the bottom. Both lanes 2 wide. Even runs.
4's a lot. Tell you what.
The bottom lane right now is more organized. Usually the top starts forming here. Bottom's coming back to you. It's even runs in both lanes. 3 back, 2 back. Even runs here. Half back top. Outside here. Your help's with you. With you tight outside.
Tight outside, Harrison Burton,
so
that 20 car with teammates. Like what I see right there. Haven't seen him much today. There when the time's right.
I feel like we said that about Harrison Burton a lot last year. 1 Rookie of the Year, 4 victories, but it seemed like we needed to get to that final stage before he put himself in that lead pack, and it really didn't matter what kind of track we were racing at.
It's when they hand you the check, bud. Now we got a race, Tony.
Yeah, we do. Don't count this outside line out yet. Took a little bit to get Moffitt and Allmendinger organized up there, but I have a feeling they're going to build momentum here and get right back to the front here.
See 3 colleague cars right in a row. They found it. I told you, you got to have your teammates. You got to have your allies. I like what I see on the outside line.
They haven't made a ton of noise today. Justin Haley's led 7 laps, but they have managed this race to perfection with 15 to go, lined up nose to tail in that outside lane and ready to strike.
And a couple times today we've seen the outside line that's formed and got going, and that's become the dominant line. Now you got the Gibbs cars all on the inside, and they're separating each other right now.
Look at that.
Whoa,
Oh, there it
And
is.
there goes Ty Dillon. Big crash.
Didn't see that coming. Ty Dillon moved out and tried to go 3 wide. Unfortunately, collected a lot of cars right there. I don't know. Tony?
The whole complexion of this race just changed with that caution right there. Mainly from the standpoint that you took 3 teammates, 2 of them just got in the crash together. So now you got individual guys that are going to have to figure out how to do it on their own. It's going to totally change into this Justin Allgaier fast car all day. He gets caught up in it.
Remains winless at Daytona. There's Allgaier. There's Ty Dillon.
And we knew with less.
Josh Berry. So Dale Jr. will not win his 8th race at Daytona. All 4 of his cars will be out of the race. There was Riley Herbst finally had his good luck run out. He had big damage.
Man, that took some big names, big cars out right there.
That kid right there should be proud of himself, though. He did a phenomenal job of just being patient and doing the right things all day long. That was nothing of his doing, but he really deserves a lot of credit for doing a great job.
Let's go back and see what brought out the yellow flag for the 8th time tonight. Middle of the back straightaway is where it all started.
Yeah, you see him pushing hard. Everything's kind of going normal here. And then Titus made a move to the outside, went 3 wide. He almost made it. It almost worked. And it just didn't. Couldn't get clear. Tried to. Spun out. And Daniel Hemrick, he didn't do anything wrong there. I mean, it was just, he was along for the ride. Unfortunately, tore a lot of cars up right there.
And the hard part for Ty is he lost that push from Barry. You know, there's a whole car separation. He gets that run and loses him, and then just before he clears Hemrick, that's where he loses that momentum and doesn't have the push to finish that pass. He's by himself right here. He has no help, and that's just pulling him back right there. All right at one little small moment there that creates that whole thing.
See the 11 of Justin Haley involved, nowhere to go. He was looking for his 4th consecutive win on a super speedway. Would have matched Dale Jr. for the most wins in a row all time when it comes to Daytona and Talladega. Brandon Brown, who's been so strong tonight, got a piece of the action, but not done for the night, I don't think. See him there in that bright yellow 68.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's one that Ty Dillon's going to watch and wish he had a chance to do that one over again.
Landon Castle in the top 10. So is Weatherman, Tommy Joe Martins, Joe Graff Jr. Could see a big upset tonight.
Couldn't get him down right there. This is big. Brett Moffitt pushed Cindric so hard right there that it didn't give Harrison a chance to get down.
And it's going to be stalemate on that front row until the guys get organized behind him to actually give him a push to try to do something here.
If he can get AJ to give him a good enough shot, he could be able to get down the teammate. Or excuse me. I would have thought that Harrison would have tried to get down in front of Cindric right there. I guess maybe he wasn't wanting to.
By my count, 7 drivers in the top 10 have never won a race in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and we're about to have 7 laps to go. Side by side for the lead.
Who do you want for a pusher right now? Who has the better cars and what line? I mean, that's just all the things that everybody's scrambling to try to, reconsider. Spotters included. Where is that best line and where's the push going to come from? What do you think, Tony?
I think the 2 best pushers are the 2 guys side by side.
We talked out of the first of the race. Austin Cindric, Roger Penske, all the races that he's won, even at this. Oh, crash right there.
And here we go. Crash. 6 laps remaining. It's our 9th caution of the night. The 4 is Landon Castle. And that 44, Tommy Joe Martins.
Just got turned.
Yeah, it's going to need more than Blue Emu to fix that and make that feel better.
I hate it for Tommy Joe. This is an effort where they put a lot of blue-collar time in. Driver out of Mississippi, went to Ole Miss, but has made a home in the Xfinity Series. And you see the damage and maybe an even bigger problem stuck on that wet infield grass. If he's just trying to get that car going, he is moving around inside the race car.
Just got turned in the right rear.
And that black car, Jeb Burton. And this is going to be the onboard, the visor cam with Jeb Burton. We'll see this replay next.
He's getting a big run there.
There you go, 4th car line. Nice work.
Yeah, just the hole he was going for started closing up. He had a huge run. I can't
and at
blame
this point
him
in the
for
race, you
taking
got to
that.
try to take it.
Yeah, I can't blame him for taking that opportunity.
1 inside. You're clear. All clear.
On board, Brandon Godovic.
In line. Easy, come on.
That's what you hope for in that scenario, that the seas part like that.
On you tighter, on you tighter.
Oh, inside line, big
Still
push.
outside. 20 has nothing. Still outside bumper. You're clear. Dinger's not. Our his helper's 1 back. Dinger's not clear.
Allmendinger
Dinger's not clear.
shoving Cindric to the
20. You're
lead.
clear. 1 behind
I
Stinger.
can't help to think Brett Moffitt in that 02 car, as good as that car is pushing, won't be a factor in this thing. That's going to be a factor in the outcome of this race. Keep an eye on the 02 car.
But look at Allmendinger and Burton sitting there getting a big run. So now, if you're Austin Cindric, you have got to watch that mirror. You've got to listen to your spotter. You have to protect that line and be ready for any run. And here it comes.
Whoop. If I'm Harrison Burton, I get back up in front of that too. That's exactly right. Good move.
Coming back to the white flag. And once we get that, the next flag will end it.
Whoa. Hold on to it.
Wow.
Big push. You know it's coming. If he
1
can
lap
hold
to
on
go.
to it.
Cindric still leading. That's Harrison Burton right behind him. 3rd in line is Brett Moffitt. He's got a Truck Series championship he would love to win at Daytona.
Now it's just a matter of if anybody can generate enough momentum to give anybody a push to do something. Here comes Moffitt.
Here it comes. Big block out of Austin Cindric. Great job. Get up there. Oh, there's your opportunity.
Still
Now Brett
not over
Moffitt's
yet.
turn.
Still not over yet. Moffitt has a shot at this still.
Look at Jeb Burton coming in the outside lane.
He's going to need a big push up there, Brett Moffitt, and that 10 car's got a lot of damage on it. I just don't
Here
see
it
a
comes,
huge
though.
push.
Here it comes.
And here they come, back to the start-finish line, through the tri-oval. Cindric is out front. He is a champion, and now he's a winner at Daytona.
Yeah! 2021, let's go! Dude, you are incredible. That was awesome.
of Coleman. Holy cow. Thank you guys for all the hard work you guys put in. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey Motorsports fans, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe before you go for all the latest news and highlights across motorsports.